it's just, it's rotten.
There's just a start to a small fire.
Yahtzee.
Getting jiggy with it. And all that stuff, right?
Hey, welcome back. Today we are back in the RV and we have some plans. So we've been kind of struggling with what we want to do with the floor plan and we think we have it worked out. So I'll give you a walk around and show you what we're planning, and hopefully by the end of the day today we will have this back wall rebuilt. So follow along and wish us luck. Okay, so when you first walk in the camper, this used to be the kitchen here, and we had a closet in this area, and then there was a couch here. When you turn the corner, this is the bathroom. When you turn the corner, this was the dining area. So what we're thinking is it's kind of chopped up where if people are here and people are over here, the living space is sort of in two separate areas. So our plan is to move the kitchen to be here. This is already the fridge and the furnace. We're going to end up hopefully leaving those. We had thought about going completely electrical and getting rid of the propane, but I think we're going to keep some of the propane items for now. So when we turn toward the back, what we're going to do is have big L-shaped couch here, and hopefully we'll be able to have this one pull out to a bed. So that will put all the living space together, and we'll have to work out something with a dining room table, but that's the plan for now. But before we can do any of that, we've got to tackle this back wall situation. Technically taking it.
Created this scenario.
So we have this board with kind of a unique shape, and on the driver's side it was completely rotten out and missing. So we wanted to take this one out that was still in decent shape and trace it and try to cut two new ones and be used on both sides. Check it out. Alright, so first we're going to trace this. So hold that one, yep. Just push nice and hard. Good deal. All right. You want to cut it? Or you want me to?
I'll cut it.
All right, let's go. Push down on it a little. All right, we got one. Getting ready to cut the next one. Yeah, let me scoot the board down a little bit. All right, put two hands on the saw. I don't want you to cut your fingies. All right, we had this old board in our basement when we moved in here, and not exactly the right size for what we needed, but hopefully close enough. We've got our two new boards cut, and we can go give them a shot. Why are we doing this?
So in order to square our wall in the back, I think we need to square up or level the RV. Kind of makes sense, but we are on a 45-degree slope.
Not really.
No, it's not 45. I'm trying to get the driver side front and back lifted up so it'll be level.
Good luck. Aren't you glad we saved that old flooring chunk?
What do we look like?
It's not there yet. I moved the level and it came a little better. So are we good with that? I think we can't really get it much higher. So we're going with that.
right, so we've got the bottom 2 sections of tin off. As you can see, this was all rotten. You saw that from the inside. But down here at the bottom, we're gonna have to do some work because of, it's rotten. That was below the water heater. So thankfully it looks like it's only 2x4s stapled together. But all in all, I feel like we just got to start framing, and then it's gonna just fall into place. And
No problem.
nope. Tell us what you're doing.
There's some rotten wood here and a lot of mud. So I'm scraping that out. And I don't know if you can see my leg, but this is happening. And so we'll put a fresh piece of wood in here to support that underneath.
All right. It's all going according to plan, right?
Yeah. Yep. Well,
Look at that. Easy disassembly. It's just a foam
that's
board.
foam here. There is a massive bolt here.
There's a lot
I
of...
don't know what that's
Huh.
for.
Right. Oh, that was probably the, what do you call that? The, keystone?
The cornerstone?
Or
The
the
keystone?
cornerstone?
Yeah, same. Well, different. Totally different.
Is it?
Well, isn't one's at the top of like an arch? That would be the keystone.
Oh.
And a cornerstone would be like the first foundational stone.
Okay. All
I don't know.
Cornerstone, you're probably right.
They're both equally important.
Gosh.
There's the ants' little home. Hopefully there's not too many more of those in here.
They look like they're sleeping.
Oh, they're tired. We've been keeping them awake. All this racket.
Right.
They could be hibernating. Trying to see how much stuff I have in my hair.
Oh.
We're heading to Home Depot. We're gonna try to get a piece of plywood for the floor, and then maybe some foam and some screws. And what else? Oh, liquid nails?
Liquid nails.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see when we get there.
Right, a bunch of random stuff that we'll forget.
I know. I feel like we should all take a moment and recognize and celebrate Dodge for making the back of a minivan exactly 4x8 so you can fit your plywood. There's geese.
Here on the left, it's
There's the deer. There's the turkeys. All right, we're trying to take these nails out. Look at how thin these are. Boy, getting ready to put the new floor in. We're losing our daylight.
All right, we're done for the day. We've done a lot of work. We've got the back wall removed out of the camper, and now everybody can see too.
My whole pocket's full of dirt right now. So, I had hoped we'd be done with the wall today. I'm actually kind of famous for underestimating the amount of time things take.
Huh.
So, yeah, even when I said that earlier, Tyler's like, there's no way. So anyway, tomorrow's Easter. We are tied up with family things in church a little bit during the day, but hopefully we'll be able to come back and get this back wall on. Good night.
All right, it's Easter Sunday, day 2 of our wall rebuild on the RV. Let's see what we can put together. I'd like to introduce you to one of our top 3 tools that we've ever purchased. This particular Benchtop Pro was purchased on clearance at Kmart over 20 years ago. Its brother was a table saw that sadly died in a tragic 2x4 accident. It's no longer with us. And then we have our third tool is a brad nailer that I think we got on Amazon for like $12, and that was probably almost 20 years ago at this point.
All right, still a beautiful day. We've been working on this one board right here for about 2 hours. All right, so what we've noticed is when camper manufacturers put together walls, they'll just butt 2 boards up and put a big staple in that bridges the gap between both, and that's all that holds those 2 boards together. That's not our favorite idea, so we're using the Craig jig system with some 2.5-inch screws, and we're screwing our walls together. You want to show the Craig? So it makes the pocket holes, and you can screw the boards together. So hopefully that'll give us a little more strength. Nice. That looks like a half a wall. Good job. Getting the frame. I feel like we have a Star Wars theme. You have this lightsaber. We got this funny guy. It's kind of one of those Star Wars deals. So where we are right now is it's getting dark, but we do have the wall framed in. We're working on trying to get these rotten boards out of the ceiling so we can replace those, but we didn't want to do that until we had a little structure back in place. All right, it's about 9 p.m. We're gonna have to call it quits for the day. There's still a big gaping hole in the back of the camper. So we will be back at it tomorrow. Excited?
Can't wait.
All right, we're back at it. It's Monday. We did not get the wall finished this weekend, so we are trying to get it put back up. We're supposed to leave on Thursday to go out of town. So the pressure's definitely on. Taking a lot longer than we thought, but hopefully doing a little time after work, we'll be able to get this wall back together. All right, so at this point, we missed a key moment. There was no time to grab the phone. So we'll do a quick reenactment for you.
There's got to be some smoke, just grinding the screws, and never mind the smoke, it's fine. Oh, it's still smoldering.
What do you mean it's smoldering? Should I grab the fire extinguisher?
No, don't use that. I've got an idea.
Put it out. More. Throw more.
There's just a start to a small fire. Thankfully, I had my pop to put it out. Yeah.
Good job. Need to get a board in place here. Got a couple screws. I believe they're awning screws in our way. So down comes the awning.
So is the awning going to come out?
I don't know. I think so.
It's either going to do that or fall to the ground. Oh, this is going to be...
You might want to get down so you can have the spiders fall on your head too. Ha ha!
Oh man. Whatever goes back up, it's got to look identical to this. Only
This is great.
oh, this is awesome.
I mean, I will say I expected it to be worse.
This is supposed to be a spring-loaded mechanism, and it's all blown out from that cog or gear there is supposed to be attached to the end cap there. Yeah, so it no longer does its
Right.
thing.
Well, it's pretty.
It is pretty. I do love the stripes. That is, doesn't get any better than that.
Yahtzee.
Wow.
It's childproof.
Yeah, that should just flip.
Yeah. Probably
What?
47 years ago.
Yeah, it's all gummed up. It should have flipped straight out. Or we could hit it with a hammer.
Boom.
Oh, it moved.
Hey. Look at that. Funny story. They're not awning screws.
That had to be one of them.
Ooh, yeah. There we go. Ready for action. Really wish we would have had a chance to clean this.
Well, if there's one thing I know about silicone.
I don't know if it's silicone, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
It
Maybe
smells
it's.
like that rubber cement from school.
Oh, is it edible? Oh, that was the paste. Never mind. I ate the rubber cement. That's what's wrong with me.
You ate the rubber. Here's the inside. Looking good. So the old window had these little corner doodaddies, and we're going to see if we can dig those out and possibly reuse them to support the window as it goes back in. Oh yeah, it's looking good. So, you're not worried about starting a fire?
There's some pretty good kindling here.
I know, like throwing sparks into a bird's nest.
Lesson not learned.
All right, it's once again getting dark. Had to take a break here at the official wing sponsor of Retro Revivals. And no, we don't have a wing sponsor, but Buffalo Wild Wings, if you would like to sponsor, you're welcome to. Going to get some dinner. We found that you don't want to work when you're hangry.
It makes me hangry. Now I'm hangry.
We will see you again tomorrow. All right, this has to be our last day as far as getting it watertight enough to leave for a few days. We have that wedding out of town. And so on the list is getting the
Window in.
the corner put back together.
Yep, and the bottom of the tin secured to the bottom of the wood.
And then we're gonna have some other random holes we're just gonna have to cover for now with garbage bags and tape and that sort of thing, and fix it properly when we come back.
Okay, I wanted to show you real quick. We ran into an issue when we were putting the tin on and not able to staple it directly to a 2x4. So I'm going to use a template, cut out a piece of 1/4-inch plywood and put that over the end. That way our tin is where it's supposed to be whenever we staple it. So anyway, that gap, you can see where the 2x4s are out to the edge of the tin there, and then when this pushes in, we'll be able to staple from this side and this side, okay? And then the trim piece goes over the top of that. But right now, up in here, like, it's very hard to see, I'm sure, because of the shadows. But those 2x4s don't go out all the way to this edge wall. They're off by just a small margin. So what I wound up doing was putting this piece of paper, I actually slid it into that spot, and I was able to come back and draw that curve on the outside with a pencil. So what I'm going to do is I will now transfer that over to my plywood, cut that, and put that in there.
Okay, so anyway, this is me transferring it over to the plywood. I've went ahead and cut my piece of paper out. Now I'm going to come back with my pencil and I'm going to trace this line nice and smooth and even, like, because plywood's easy to write on. All right, so now I'm going to take my jigsaw and I'm going to cut on that line. We got ourselves a new jigsaw because the other one, being 20 plus years old, has not cut very well, and so we needed an upgrade.
All right. It's the maiden voyage here.
Maiden voyage. Hope I won't chop my hand off. Just kidding. And actually, I'm going to go inside of this line because the line was on the outside of the tin.
I think you're just trying to build the suspense. I thought you knew how to put the blade in. All right, I'll pause it. Take two.
All right. Do over, reinsert battery, and engage. Now that's what you call getting jiggy with it.
Oh boy. In addition to wrapping up, closing up the back end, we need to start Operation Good Neighbor and take care of some of this mess that's been in the yard for about 5 days. So hopefully by the end of tonight, they won't hate us too much. Hercules, Hercules.
Oh, Hercules, Hercules.
Oh, watch out. That's just sink water in theory.
Yeah. I saw what was in the sink.
Yeah.
What?
That rotten food.
Oh, I was going to say about 102 diapers.
Oh, that sink.
Ugh.
Ah,
It's just sink water.
it's just sink water. Don't worry about it. Nobody puts anything gross in the sink.
Oh, right. So where are we going to go on our first trip in this magnificent beast?
I don't know, probably somewhere nearby. I mean, I have these thoughts in my head of like, wouldn't it be sweet to cruise out to Yellowstone?
Oh, man.
Take
Wouldn't
the
it?
couple youngest 2 kids.
Oh, man.
But
Wouldn't it be?
I think maybe we do a trip or 2 in Michigan.
Yes.
Maybe 1 in Michigan and 1 like in Ohio.
Right.
Really push the limits of it
Right.
and see. I mean, things will break down and then, but at least we'll know, and then we can get it in better shape before we try to go anywhere farther.
Yes. Give us time to save up gas money.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so there's 3 separate trim pieces that go across the back that hold this tin to the bottom piece of wood. We've already got the first one on. What we did was we put butyl tape across the back of the trim piece. We'll peel the paper off, stick it on there, and then we're going to run screws in through that. But before I do that, I'm actually going to put a dab of caulk on each screws and then run those in, and that'll help make it more watertight. And then over top of that, there is a white plastic cover piece that covers the screw heads. Also, we've been using these roofing style screws for metal roofs. We found that the washers are holding the head of the screw too far off of the piece of trim, and we put that plastic cap over that. It doesn't want to seat right in the grooves of that trim. So I am just going to take these off, and again, we're going to put some sealant on the threads and run them in, so it should serve the same purpose. There's one thing I've learned about doing an RV, it's that nothing is the same throughout the entire RV. These 3 pieces of trim, for instance, should be at least 2 out of the 3 would be the same, but no, they're all cut to different lengths. So it really doesn't matter which order we go in, just whatever looks right. Okay, so this is the plastic trim cap that covers the screws. There's a groove on the top side and bottom side of that trim, and then there's little tabs, or the plastic is actually molded to go into those grooves. I'm going to leave a little bit of excess at each end. That way, if it shrinks or anything over the next few days, I will I'll be covered that way, and then I can cut the excess off later before I put on like the corner trim pieces. Since it's been warm, the plastic's a lot more pliable than when it was cold, so I'm able to, so far it just seems like I can tuck it in there with my fingers. It's a friction fit. Like I said, the plastic fits into the grooves, but I do have a plastic putty knife if I'm having any difficulty, and I may just run that along the edge of the groove after the fact, just to make sure I've got everything seated and in place. So I spent the last few minutes washing my hands of all that glue I was using to fill the screw holes with. Turns out, not only sticks to wood and metal, but also skin. So I didn't want to damage this stuff any more than I had to and dirty it up, so I went ahead and washed my hands.
so we are moving on to the phase where we need to get the trim back onto the edges to seal this up a little better before we leave. So the first step is we cleaned up the trim, as you saw, and then we bought some of this Seal Tight Corner Seal by Dicor. It's a roll of tape, and you kind of just put it on firmly on the edges of the camper, and that should be like first defense to block out water. And then we're going to throw some butyl on the back, put some caulk on the end of the screws before we put them in. Some of the, I don't know if it's technically caulk, some of the Pro Flex. And then after all that, we're going to come back and put a bead of the Pro Flex on the outside of the trim. I don't think we'll do that today. We'll probably wait till after we wash it and then give everything a good seal after that. But that's kind of the plan, to get this a little more watertight.
Okay, I'm putting on this Dicor corner tape. I'm doing about a 50-50 split on my crack. I'm assuming that's standard.
So the one side of this tape is kind of like felt.
Yeah.
And the other side is very sticky. You peel some clear plastic off. So
Right.
you're just peeling a little off as you go. I imagine that's decent strategy.
Yeah, so I am doing that, and I'm only really sticking it to one side right now. I will come back after I get this ran the length of the corner here. I'll come back and press the other side in, but I just want to get one side nice and pressed into place.
So I admitted to being a bad estimator of how long things will take.
Yes.
But, I mean, can you actually count for like 40 minutes of de-washering and 2 hours of scraping caulk off a trim? Like, it seems like that should just happen quickly. I kind of forget about those things. So trim's going on, window, tarp. We got to throw the tarp back up there. It's getting a little cleaner around here, a little more cleanup, and that'll be it for today.
And I didn't wear gloves again, so getting stuff all over my fingers.
It's really pretty with the sun setting behind you, and you're up with the sky and the moldy back wall.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, should we put cruise air back on? We're gonna have to probably scrape that off.
Oh,
do we put it back on? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, that's the way.
Is that helpful?
Hand it to me blade first. Perfect.
Racing the daylight here and trying to get all this old caulk off this window. It is thick. And there's a layer of butyl down here, which actually comes off a lot easier. It feels like it's pretty fresh, like this window was replaced somewhat recently. Like, it's not all dried out like some of that other butyl we were finding. So I think someone had to try to do a repair on this window at some point. And I'm not sure that it worked. All right, this is Sophie and Kelsey, and they're gonna come hopefully bail us out and help with this window goo. Oh yes. We're gonna have Ella try out this new saw because she did such a good job the other day with that junky old one, and I wanted to see how a decent saw actually operates. So we just need some strips to fill in when we put the window temporarily in place. You ready? 2 hands on the, nope, I want you 2 hands on the saw. Okay, good. Was it different? Yeah. Was it good? Yeah. Good job, girl. Thank you.
Did I cut more?
Nope, I'm gonna put these behind the window and we're gonna try to get that window in because it is getting dark. Here's your blanket. Thank you, ma'am. Go pack your suitcase. All right. Isn't this romantic?
Yeah, this is the only way to work. By flashlight.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. This is ridiculous. Got some fancy trash bags blocking that hole and the one where the battery goes. We'll get the tarp back on here and hopefully buy us a little time until we can do the roof.
All right, so we're doing a temporary install of the window. We don't have the paneling up or anything like that on the interior. So we will hang this temporarily, come back after the fact and do butyl and the sealant and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. All right, so another late night here. What I thought might take a day wound up taking 5, but 3 of them were like half days. So we appreciate you guys sticking with us. We did get the wall framed in. We have the window in temporarily. We still obviously have a lot of work to do. A lot of comments coming in about, the engine. So we do plan to do several videos coming up where we tackle more with the engine. We need to do the roof. Everything. We need to do everything. So we appreciate you watching and we hope you stay tuned. And I think that's it. We're going to go do some laundry and pack our suitcases.
Good night.
Hey, if you've liked what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching.